Hi, that's Cassandra, here to do my final presentation on my philosophy of education. So my first question is what do you see as the purpose of education in our society? In the chapter of My Need to Teach by Deanne Rochfort, she helped me to see that the purpose of education in our society is to help develop students into being contributing members of society. They can learn to do this by helping others. There's a lot that there's a lot of that education can do for a child, but it is the teacher's responsibility to ensure they're teaching the qualities they wish to see in society. I think that relationship building is one of the highest skills that one can have. It is hard when you lack abilities in this area. The second question, what do you think the role of an educator is both inside and outside of an instructional setting, such as a classroom or in our society? After reading Thinking Education as the Practice of Freedom by Paulo Freire, this sparked an interest to explore critical thought and how teachers can use this concept to further develop the young minds of tomorrow. In the Navajo language, we talk about how the young are tomorrow's leaders, and that this concept of critical thought incorporates that idea. And the Navajo phrase that I remember from high school was Miskago not Ani, and that's tomorrow's leaders. And that's something that was constantly discussed in high school. And I hope that that's something that I can actually incorporate into my own teaching as well. I think that whatever I can do to help advance the knowledge that the young are gaining today, it is something I would like to contribute to. How have your experiences as a student impacted you as a future professional educator? As I read Becoming a Mister by Matthew Rasmussen, I was reminded of my own experience with teachers who were not invested in their job. They clearly were there just for the paycheck. I love how Matthew discussed this topic because his analogy of without proper care, a garden will wither instead of bloom. If my teachers back then had taken their profession as a teacher seriously, I could have been prepared for high school and ready for advanced courses. But I was not. I dealt with so much disappointment because I could not take advantage of these opportunities. Sorry, I forgot to put not. Um, and I think the decisions that teachers make in the classroom and how they approach teaching and how they teach impacts, students. Because with my own experience, my personal experience, my teachers didn't care. We wasted a whole day just sitting around doing nothing. And the only topic he was really interested in teaching us was music, and that was it. And we didn't even have any music instruments. We didn't even have the resources for music. But yet he taught us lyrics, he taught us stuff that to this day doesn't even matter. That class, I lost a whole year of education during that year. And it's one of the most disappointing memories I have from growing up. And it kind of makes you angry sometimes. But I mean, there's more stories than just that one, but that's the one I wanted to share. What three qualities do you believe an effective teacher should have that you also have? So, first question. So, from my readings, I found that the three qualities I do have to be an effective teacher are perseverance, commitment, and intelligence. These qualities are my cornerstones, and they have always helped me to grow in my life and in whatever endeavor I took on. And the second question is, how can you further develop, or continue to develop the three qualities you listed in the previous question. And I'm always developing to improve myself in life. One thing I did recently decided was to become sober. I think my life will improve exponentially because of this decision. Yeah, I think my addiction to alcohol really did not serve me well. And I'm glad that I made that decision to move forward. And it was a really hard decision, but I think that it's for the better. And I still struggle with it, but I think that I'm on the right path. So, this new profession that I want to pursue, it's going to be important for this area of my life. And I'm thankful that I made that decision because it was a hard one. What is your purpose in wanting to be an educator? I think that similar to My Need to Teach by Deanna Rochford, her statements, the role of an educator requires intelligence and it's a challenging job. In life, I've always looked for a role that required me to learn new skills. I enjoy the challenges it brings because when you have to work hard for something, it is much more rewarding. I want to share this joy of learning with students so they can accomplish anything they want in this life. And I think that having the intelligence and the knowledge to make good decisions really pays off. And I want to help kids to make good decisions in their life because we make so many decisions every day. And if you choose to make the wrong decisions, you will take a path down the wrong road. But if you choose to reflect and to really critically analyze what decisions you're making, you can make better choices. So you could pick the good road. And that's something I'd love to be able to share with kids or just students, no matter what age they are. Based on your research in this class, how would you change schools or the field of education so students can meet the challenges of the next 50 years? In my research on inclusivity of LGBTQ plus students, I would change schools to promote more visibility for LGBTQ plus youth. It's equally as important that I am present within the field of education as an LGBTQ plus educator. I believe that LGBTQ plus students can be contributing members to the challenges of the next 50 years. And to do this, we must eliminate the high suicide rates within the LGBTQ plus youth community. And it's something that Gleason tries to highlight throughout their communication. And I see it a lot on websites and their presentations. And it's just something I really feel strongly that I need to help in that area to help the youth who are questioning and don't exactly know. And hopefully I can be a resource for them and to help steer them in the right direction and learn to value themselves and not let society devalue them the way that they currently do right now. Based on what you have learned in this class, as well as your own experiences, what is your working philosophy of education? My working philosophy on education is that we all teach students of the future the skills they need to become their own person, which overall will help them navigate any life challenges they encounter. Yes, I think that we must help them to develop into their own person because we're all unique in our own ways. And I think that, all people have strengths and weaknesses, and helping to identify those for students and to help them to, you know, to improve their weaknesses so that they can be strong overall, I think is really important. And in our classrooms, we must create learning environments where all students are comfortable, confident, engaging, and challenged. And I love Rita Pearson's TED Talk, where she talks about we must invest in relationships with our students to make a difference. And she has such a powerful video on this topic. And we must create relationships with our students to make a difference because, like she said, we don't learn from teachers we don't like. So you must be likable as well. And you do that by developing relationships with students individually, not just several students, but all students. Thank you for taking the time to watch my presentation. Thank you so much.